Hello and welcome. In this video, we will see how to do communication of SIMATIC HMI with the PLC in the TI portal. So let's begin. So this video we will divide in two parts. In the first part, we will see how to do communication of SIMATIC HMI with the Siemens PLC, and in the other part, we will see how to do communication of SIMATIC HMI with the other than Siemens PLC like Rockwell, Modicon, Mitsubishi. So there are 4-5 protocols which are majorly used for PLC and HMI communication. The first one is Profinet, which is IP address based. Next one is MPI or Profibus protocol, which is based on device address, baud rate, parity. Next one is Modbus TCP/IP. Again, it is based on IP address. Next one is Modbus RTU, which is again based on device ID, baud rate, parity, and last one is OPC UA. So here we will see how to do communication by using Profinet, which is IP address based. So here we have already taken one CPU which have almost all the latest CPU of Siemens. Those are communicating over Profinet. So here if you go in device configuration, here we can set the Profinet properties, that is IP address for the CPU. So here IP address we have set it 192.168.0.1 and subnet mask 255.255.255.0. So IP address for the HMI, it should be in the same range of this IP address like 192.168.0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and which should be less than 255. And subnet mask, we have to keep the same subnet mask for the HMI. So here for PLC is 192.168.0.1 and for the HMI it should be other than 1. So if you see the devices and networks, so there is no any HMI added at the moment. So what we will do, we will add HMI. So here we can see this HMI have MPI Profibus DP port, Profinet port. So we have to do the communication over Profinet. So we can take this HMI. So here, if we are doing communication with the Siemens PLC, in this wizard we can select that CPU with which we have to do communication. So here PLC 1 is the PLC for which we have to do communication. So here communication driver is SIMATIC S7-1200, interface is over Ethernet. So in the next part we can select the screen layout, we can select the alarm pop-up screen if we have to select the root screen here. Anyway, here our requirement to see communication, so we can skip all these things and we can click on finish. So here what we will do, here we will add one data block and we will add 4-5 variables in the data block to check the communication. So if we do the communication from the wizard, and if you see in the devices and networks, so now HMI is added and the communication link between PLC and HMI, it is already connected. So no need to add this manually. If we are adding HMI manually, which is other than the wizard, then we have to select this point and we have to drag it to this HMI Profinet port. So in this way also we can do the communication. So again, coming back to this DB, so we will add data type real. We will add integer. We will add one boolean variable, and last one we will add one text variable, data type string. So here these 4 variable we have added. So now what we will do, we will enable the PLC sim. So here our CPU type is 1200. We will power on the CPU. So here, okay, so it is detected that CPU which is having IP address 192.168.0.1. We will load into the CPU. So it is downloaded and we can see the PLC is in run mode. So again, coming back to the screen, so from the toolbox, from the elements, we can add data links, which is used to show the variables in the HMI. So if we are using Siemens PLC, so if you take the any data link or IO link, so in the tag section we can browse the global DB of that respective PLC. So here we have only one data block. So if you select the data block, here all the data types whatever we have taken, all the tags here we can see the respective, the desired one we can select. First one is a real data type, next one is a integer, so here we will put sign 3 digits, and after 3 digits we will keep only 1 digit. So for the integer we will keep only 3 digits. So next one is boolean data type. So format is 1 or 0, and the next one is string data type, here string, yes. So if you select, only string will appear here, and yes, it is ready. So what we will do, we will force here values real 3.14, integer 201, boolean we will force true, and the last one we will modify it high PLC. So all these values automatically, if we put the HMI in the runtime, automatically it should appear on this particular IO link. So if you see 3.1, 201, here 1, and high PLC. So here I think we have to 3.22. I think we have to add one more digit here. So again we can override the current simulation instance. Okay, so here you can see 9.99 we will force, and we will check it in the nine point nine nine. See 9.99. In the integer we will force 333. 333. We will make it false, boolean false, and here high HMI, and yes, we can see over DB it is high HMI. So in this way we can do the communication. So here if you see the tags, automatically those tags will be created if we browse directly from the screens. See, first one is boolean, integer, real, and text. So here the access mode is symbolic mode, so that we can directly access the respective tag. Here one more type is there. So if we are using optimized block address, if this setting is enabled, we can directly access the tag from the screen. If we disable this optimized block address, and if we download it, so it will generate the respective address for each data type. So at the moment there is no address for the real, integer, boolean, and text. So we will change and we will download. So here if you can see under the offset section, you can find out the address for the real, it is 0, for integer it is 4, for boolean it is 6, and for string it is 8. So here what we will do, we will add one more real, data type is real, we will download it. So now its address is 264 from db1, and if you see in the data in the HMI tags, we can add that tag also. So this is another way of adding tag. If you required specific HMI tag name, then you can do this way as well. So here also you can select the that particular variable, or you can add the address of that respective tag. So here access mode, you can select absolute address. So here you under address you can select db. So here data type we have selected string. If we select real, then here the style of this address, it will automatically accommodate to real. So our address is db1. So if you can select the address of data block 1 is 1, and address of real 2 is 264. So here you can add db1 and dbd 264. If you see the access mode, this is symbolic, 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 and this one is absolute. And here in the absolute we have communicating only through this address, and here we are communicating directly, we are accessing these tag directly by using variable name. So here we will, now here we have to give that real to tag. So if here you can see there is a real to tag, so simply we can start the start the runtime. So again we, so values are 0. So if we force the value 999, so this one is 999. So 777 777. So here 1 2 3 5 5 5. So this bull we can force 1. So we can check the values in the PLC DB. So in this way we can communicate Siemens PLC and Siemens HMI. Now if we want to communicate other than Siemens PLC, then what we can do? So simply what we will do, we will add one more device, HMI device, and we will see how to communicate with other. Simply we can create a new project. We will close this simulation as well. So here we have to add the required HMI. So before adding the HMI, we have to, while selecting the HMI, we have to check whether which protocol we are using. If we are using Modbus port, then this Profibus DP or MPI port should be available. Or if we are using Ethernet layer, then this Profinet port should be available. So here now we cannot select the HMI because we cannot select the PLC because PLC is from other brand. So simply click on next, click on finish. So now what we have to do, we have to go to the connections here. So connection here we have to add manually. So connection 1. So we have to, once the connection added, we have to select the driver, communication driver. Over Ethernet we are communicating, over Profibus, over Modbus, and we have to select the device. So here if we want to select 1200, 1500 to 200, 300, or here we can select the required PLC, or we can select the OPC UA as well. Here what we will do, we will select the Modbus RTU communication, that is Modbus communication. So for the Modbus, what we have to select, we have to select RS230, RS422 or RS485. Here let's say RS485. Here we have to select the baud rate, over which baud rate we are communicating over the PLC, data bits, parity, stop bits, and here we can select the CPU type. And here we have to select the slave address of that PLC. So this communication setting, whatever we are setting here, same communication setting, it should be available in the PLC. Then only it will communicate over the Modbus. Once it is done, once communication driver is selected, then we can go to the HMI, and here we can add the respective tags. So here connection, we have to select the connection 1, which is our connection to the Modicon PLC, and here we can select the address. We can give the 400 4 into or 3 into, we can select the desired our Modbus RTU address, that is 40,001, 40,002, 40,003. So in this way we can communicate over Ethernet. So if we are communicating over other than RTU, then here we can select the, now let's say Modbus TCP IP. So the physical layer for Modbus TCP IP is Ethernet. So here we can select the CPU type, which port, and here we have to select the Modbus TCP IP address. The remote slave address we can select, that is device ID. And by selecting this, if we go to the tags, so here also we can add the tags manually. So here we can select communication 2. So this communication now is over Modbus TCP IP. From the communication we can select OPC UA. Then here we have to give the OPC UA address, or here we can select the available OPC UA server, configured OPC UA server over that PLC. So if we can browse it from here. So at the moment we have not configured any OPC UA server. So it will not give anything related to OPC UA server. So in this way we can communicate SIMATIC HMI with the Siemens PLC or other than Siemens PLC. Thank you. So if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe this video.